strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome everybody, we have some more breaking news today. I was trying to call it a night, I was trying to go to sleep, and Splinterlands decided they were gonna drop a bombshell here tonight. We have the next airdrop that has been revealed. It is ready to go out once we sell through about another 50,000 packs. As I'm making this video, we are getting very close. The next airdrop is coming, so we're gonna go over this card and we're gonna talk about what everybody's complaining about, and that's the the decreased drop rate, the increased number of packs you have to have bought before you will get a guaranteed airdrop here. So it's going to be one guaranteed card for every 500 packs that you bought. We're gonna go into more detail on that afterwards, but let's first get in here. Let's look at the actual card. We have Spirit Hoarder. Spirit Hoarder is a nice little card here. There's a couple of different things going on with it. So if we look at level 1, the very base level, it gets triage. This is one of only 2 monsters now that get triage at base level, and that can be a very big deal. That can open up some new strategies for some newer players. Right now, Mermaid Healer, I believe, is the only one that has triage at level 1. That's a very expensive beta card. Most of you are not going to be playing with that card. Once a modern format gets here, it's not going to be eligible in the modern format. So if you want to use triage at level 1 with level 1 cards, this is how you can do that now. And there are a bunch of different ways to use triage. One of the ones that I like the best is using triage with a backline tank. Because what triage does is it heals up, it's like, so we've got a tank heal. You guys might be more familiar with the tank heal. There's a lot more cards that have that, especially at base level. That heals the monster in the first position. Triage is going to heal a monster in the back line. So if you have a tank that has taunt that's in the back line that's taking all that damage, you can heal them up with triage. And maybe one of the most popular uses for this is going to be with the Earth Splinter, with Obsidian. Because what do we have? We have Slip Spawn, that is a magic tank with taunt that you can place in the back line. And then we've got magic damage here. Obsidian gives +1 magic damage. So that could be a very nice combination here. And this is going to be, it's going to be a fairly good option. So I think this card is useful at its base level, at level 1. At level 2, it gains Dispel. Dispel is one that, it might actually be an ability that I underrate a lot, but it's never a primary ability. I'm never looking for Dispel. Like when I'm building my lineup, I'm never searching thinking, okay, I want to, like, I might think I want to add triage in here. It's going to get blind later. I'll look for cards that have blind, thinking I want to add blind into my lineup. I'm never thinking I want to add Dispel, not because it's not good, but it's just, it's not something where you're kind of basing your team around or trying to counter a certain thing. Dispel is kind of almost like a bonus for me. When it's actually useful, it can be very, very good, but a lot of times it just doesn't. There's too many times when it doesn't do too much, so that's why I'm never really building lineups around trying to fit that in. But it is a very useful ability to dispel buffs from the tank or whatever card it's actually hitting. Whether that's if it was getting a speed buff or it was getting Inspire, increasing its attack, you can remove those, and those can be a very big deal sometimes. So it's not that Dispel is worthless, it's just I'm never focusing on Dispel and really trying to get that in there. So it gets better at level 2, but at level 3 is where I really like it. I am a big fan of blind. If you guys have watched my live streams, you'll know that I like to throw out some dodge heavy teams. Some things like I like to do like Kitty Almo a lot and increase that speed, and Almo can dodge even magic attacks. And then when you can add some blind to it, that can be very, very useful. Spirit Hoarder becomes the third cheap in terms of mana cost. It is the third cheapest card that has blind, and some of the other options are kind of hard to get. So you've got You've got 2, it's actually tied for third. You've got 2 in the Life Splinter. You've got 1 in the Death Splinter. Those are the only 2 that have a blind for 3 mana or less. And like in Death Splinter, it's on Fallen Spectre. That's a very expensive beta card. Even in the Life Splinter, it's on Lens Master, which only costs 1 mana, but it's a very expensive card to go get. So in terms of card cost and mana cost, this is one of the cheapest ways that you can get blind on your team, and I really like that. So this is a card I see myself using. I think it's going to be very niche situations, but that's what we like to see on these cards. So I feel like they've done a very good job of balancing these, of adding these new chaos cards in here without just completely disrupting the game. It's not like, okay, if you don't have Spirit Hoarder, you're not going to win, you're not going to do as well. I don't see this as a card of, okay, you have to go get this. But I see this as a card that's, again, in niche situations where if I'm building one of those Dodger teams, if I'm trying to utilize that triage, again, this is a neutral card, so you can use it in a lot of different situations, and I really see myself using this card a decent amount. So again, it's a neutral legendary. We kind of knew that it was either going to be, the next one was going to be neutral legendary or dragon legendary. So unless they decided to go ahead and skip to the 6 legendary summoners that are coming, but as far as the actual monsters that are coming, is the next one's going to be dragon now? That would be my guess, but we don't know. They've said there was neutral and dragon, or that was the plan, was neutral and dragon to come. Never know if that's set in stone or anything like that, but it's no surprise that we've got a neutral here. So let's now talk about the part that everybody doesn't like. I think a lot of people like this card and are intrigued by it, at least, but the 500 guaranteed pack, or the 500 packs to get 1 guaranteed card, is much higher than we expected. That's a big jump from the previous one, and there's a very good reason for that. And they did talk about this before, that they were planning on increasing that number or decreasing the drop rate because people aren't opening packs at the rate that they thought they would. So a lot of people are just buying the packs and holding on to them, hoping that they increase in value down the line, which I did. That's what I'm doing. I personally feel like that's a good idea. I mean, you guys can go make your own financial decisions there, but I am buying up and hoarding as many packs as I can. So I'm part of the problem here. So, but that's a very common thing that people are doing. And what that means is that because these packs aren't actually being opened up, the previous cards have a higher circulation than they intended, because they're airdropping them, and then after they're airdropped, they can still be opened up in the packs. So if you bought a pack in the pre-sale that you still haven't opened yet, and you go open it after these airdrops are here, you can pull those airdrop cards. So you kind of these if they're at too high of a rate, will appear both as the airdrops and then in the packs as well. And then it makes it so these legendaries that are airdropped have a higher circulation amount than the original legendaries that were starting in the set. And that's not what they want. I don't know if they're intending for them to be the same, or if they have a set circulation number that they want, or whatever it is. But that's why this number is getting adjusted up, because fewer people are actually opening the packs before these airdrops get here. So that's why that adjustment had to be made. I know a lot of people are not going to like it, but that's just the way they have to do it to make sure that they keep the circulation number for these cards down. Or otherwise, yeah, they drop them, but the circulations are higher, so they don't have as much value if you do pull them. So I mean, there's some give and take there. I know people still aren't going to be happy with it, but hopefully you can at least understand the reason why it's done. And people might have to make some adjustments on their calculations when they were trying to figure out how many packs they needed to buy to get so many cards. I'm still going to be able to get a maxed out Spirit Hoarder, so I'm excited about that. We'll see if I get a gold foil. I got, of the 3 previous airdrops, I got 2 gold foils. So we'll see if I get one here as the odds are going up. Or as the drop rate's going down, my chances of a gold foil are going to decrease. So we'll see. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this card. Is this a card that you want to go out and get? Again, I feel like it has value at all levels here. Sometimes there's some cards that it's not that great at base level, but once you level it up, it really gets powerful. I feel like this is one with that triage that can be useful right from the beginning, and there's going to be some fun combos there. So let me know in the comments what you think of this card. How would you rank it compared to some of the other airdrops? How excited are you going to go out and buy it? Or are you going to sell it right away if you get it and see if you can get some money that way? Buy something else instead? How are things looking? Let me know. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.